Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Shares in BT plunged today after the company revealed that the impact of an accounting scandal in its Italian business is far worse than originally thought. The head of BT Europe resigned this afternoon. As our business editor Simon Jack reports, the fall in BT's share price may also reflect wider concerns about the state of the economy.
I don't even have time to open doors anymore.
Not every big company is a household name, but BT definitely is. Its services are used by millions, and its shares are some of the most widely owned by the public, with nearly 1 million small investors still holding shares from the privatisation back in 1984. Here is what happened to those shares today. A 20% drop, its biggest fall in its history as a public company. That caught even big investors off guard.
It was a real shock. BT's not the kind of company we expect to have profits warnings. It's a very strong company with quite a reliable, dependable and forecastable business, so we just don't expect these kind of issues.
So why this sudden and very dramatic slump? Well, BT has problems on a number of fronts. Today we learned the accounting scandal in BT's Italian business is much worse than expected. The black hole there has widened from £145 million to £530 million. Perhaps even more worrying for investors, it also warned today that profits in its core business will be £175 million lower this year and next. Now that's down to stagnating revenue from some of its biggest customers who are not renewing major contracts. And today's news is set against an already uncertain backdrop for the company.
The company is fighting calls from competitors and the regulator to split off its Openreach network division. It has one of the UK's biggest pension fund deficits, and meanwhile it's been spending big on entertainment.
I think there's a lot of nervousness around BT at the moment, particularly given the ongoing review of the Openreach division and also the review of pensions that's due to happen this year. I think if there's one thing that investors hate, it's uncertainty, and given the amount of uncertainty there is at the moment, any knock to BT sees a sort of amplified effect, which is what I think we've seen with the share price today.
Heads have already started to roll. The chief executive of BT Italy has already been suspended, and the BBC has learned tonight that the head of BT Europe is expected to resign imminently. All this will put pressure on the ultimate boss, Brit Gavin Patterson, who's been in charge during a period of bold expansion for BT.
We're in the process of really building our broadband business.
BT expressed disappointment at events in Italy and promised swift action. Shareholders will be disappointed at today's record slump. And when a company as big as BT says its biggest customers aren't spending money, it's a worry for the wider economy. Simon Jack, BBC News.
Now, around £8 billion has been wiped off the value of shares in British Telecom after the company revealed an accounting scandal in its Italian division was more serious than first thought. BT said an internal investigation had revealed long-running improper accounting practices, meaning profits had been overstated for a number of years. Our business editor, Siobhan Kennedy, is here with more. Siobhan, this is pretty dramatic, isn't it?
It certainly is, Kathy. Let's take a look at this graph of its share price over the past few days. You don't need to be a market expert to see that this is very bad news for BT today. The shares, as you can see there, fell off a cliff this morning, down 20-odd%. £8 billion, as you say, on the day, in what has to be one of the most torrid days ever for the company. So what happened? Well, BT over the summer said it had discovered what it called accounting irregularities inside its Italian division and had set aside £145 million to account for it. Then this morning, suddenly out of the blue, it almost trebled that figure to £530 million, saying that those inappropriate accounting practices had spread far deeper than they had originally thought and had resulted, as you said, in the overstatement of earnings over several years. Now, BT has said it is deeply distressed, disturbed, disappointed in the discovery, that it takes it extremely seriously. It said that it has suspended the two most senior executives in the Italian business unit, and today a third has resigned.
So is that the end of it then?
Well, BT certainly hopes that it will be, but it has pointed out that the financial hole inside the Italian unit could yet get bigger, And tonight, Italian prosecutors have confirmed to this programme that they've opened a criminal investigation into the Italian unit. So this is very bad news for what is one of Britain's biggest companies, whose shares, let's not forget, are owned by about 1 million ordinary investors, people like you and me, Kathy, and pension funds up and down the country, who tonight will be pretty aggrieved at what's happened.
Indeed, Siobhan, thank you very much.
I've been getting away with it all